Chapter 8 has one of the most difficult exercises that we do in this process, and that is one of truly seeing ourselves and seeing each other through the eyes that Christ might see us. We also look at how important it is to respond rather than react. The word reaction means to react what was done to us, and it puts us at the mercy of other people's behavior. We also look at conflict resolution. Many of us never learned how to resolve conflict, and that conflict is just about individual differences and not competition. So this is a chapter that really invites us to relate to others in a whole different way. You know, we've done a lot of looking at ourselves, but we're so trained not to see each other. And I just want to remind you, you are 50% of every relationship you're in. And our job is to keep our 50% focused on what God would have us do and how we treat other people. So I want to do an exercise that will really help you to see another person. It's a little bit awkward because we're so trained to look past other people, not really see the person across from us. So what I want you to do is to pick a partner and sort of turn so you're facing that partner. So just take a deep breath. Please pick a person to be A and a person to be B. Just for talking purposes, there's no downside to being either or. So take a deep breath and hold your head up. B person, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes. B person, close your eyes. And A person, open your eyes. B should have your eyes closed and A should have your eyes open. A, I'm going to give you an opportunity to really see the human being across from you. First, just look at their physical form. Just notice how they're dressed, their hairstyle. Just see the image that they present to the outside world. Just be aware and observe. What strikes you? Observe their maleness or femaleness. Just look at the form. Go a little deeper. Look at this person as a personality, a mind who is using this form of expression. Look at the opposites that make up this personality. Is this person timid or bold? Are they comfortable or uncomfortable? Are they nice or nasty? They are all of these human things. Just look at their eyes. See the creases here and there around their forehead, around their mouth. Just see the reflections of their life's experiences, of their loves lost, of their pain, of their joy. All of us have lost some of those we really loved. All have experienced grief, have experienced joy. Begin to see past what this person wants you to see. Go beyond the fronts and the masks that they have put on as a defense against a threatening world. See the reflections of their painful experiences in their body, dress, makeup, hair, all of the ways that we have learned to hide from each other. See their childhood experiences of humiliation, where their innocence was exploited or laughed at. See the times that this being was made fun of for being naive or for being afraid. See times of loving and being loved. See times of rejection and abandonment. Just notice the experiences we all share of confusion, of hope, of loneliness, of sadness, of despair. Go one level deeper and look at the sameness. There really are only outside differences between our bodies, our experiences, and our backgrounds. Look at this precious child of God, designed perfectly by Him for His purpose, this wonderful soul traveler using this passing form, traveling somewhere between birth and death, sharing our journey in life, an amazing being that lies beyond time. Can you see all of the human possibilities in this person, not just the good or the bad? Given a particular set of circumstances, this person is capable of the darkest deeds imaginable. So much of the darkness comes out in the struggle to survive. This person is scared, like you. They could turn on you in a second, wipe out your life, or offer a blessing that could save your life. They could take your life or sacrifice their life for you. Just look at the dark and the light. See the wholeness of this being, the sameness of this being. You are looking at every human being on earth. A person, please close your eyes. A, please close your eyes, and B person, open your eyes. I'm going to give you the same opportunity. A should have your eyes closed and B should have your eyes open. Just look at the physical form of the person sitting across from you. Notice how they're dressed, their hairstyle. Just see the image that they present to the outside world. Just be aware and observe. What strikes you? Observe their maleness or femaleness. Just look at the form. Go a little deeper. Look at this person as a personality, a mind who is using this form of expression. Look at the opposites that make up this personality. Is this person timid or bold? Are they comfortable or uncomfortable? Are they nice or nasty? They are all of these human things. Just look at their eyes. See the creases here and there around their forehead, around their mouth. See the reflections of their life's experiences, of their loves lost, of their pain, of their joy. All of us have lost some of those we really loved. All have experienced grief, have experienced joy. Begin to see past what this person wants you to see. Go beyond the fronts and the masks that they have put on as a defense against a threatening world. See the reflections of their painful experiences in their body, dress, makeup, hair, all of the ways that we have learned to hide from each other. See their childhood experiences of humiliation, where their innocence was exploited or laughed at. See times that this being was made fun of for being naive or for being afraid. See times of loving and being loved. Times of rejection and abandonment. Just notice the experiences we all share of confusion, of hope, of loneliness, of sadness, of despair. Go one level deeper and look at the sameness. There really are only outside differences between our bodies, our experiences, and our backgrounds. Look at this precious child of God, designed perfectly by Him for His purpose, this wonderful soul traveler using this passing form, traveling somewhere between birth and death, sharing our journey in life. An amazing being that lies beyond time. Can you see all of the human possibilities in this person, not just the good or the bad? Given a particular set of circumstances, this person is capable of the darkest deeds imaginable. So much of the darkness comes out in the struggle to survive. This person is scared, like you. They could turn on you in a second and wipe out your life. They could offer you a blessing that could save your life, or they could take your life or sacrifice their life for you. Look at the dark and the light. See the wholeness of this being, the sameness of this being, the preciousness of this being, this unique design of God our Father. You are looking at every human being on earth. When I ask you to open your eyes, I want you to just be there with each other, without words, without laughter. Just see the other person across from you. Open your eyes. And when you're ready to make a connection, just do that in a way that's comfortable for the two of you and talk about what you experienced. I love doing the exercise that we just did, because at the end of it, you never see anybody hit anybody else. There's something in us that when we get down below all of the other layers of who we are, there's no race, there's no color, there's no age, there's no sex, there's just another human being trying to figure it out and trying to live like we live, and there's a pull toward each other, you know, when we get down below it all. And so you see a whole room full of people kind of go, boop, you know, coming toward each other. And if we can stay in that place, we will not go into any relationship in an aggressive manner, in a condescending or judgmental manner. We will see another human being as someone like ourselves, somebody that Jesus died to give life, somebody that He's brought into our path to love. That does not mean, however, that the other person will be in the same place you are. So we will face other people who are aggressive, who are going to need to be angry, who are need to dump their anger on you, who need to be aggressive toward you. We tend to be reactive beings. Listen to that word, reaction. We have these little neurons in our brain called mirror neurons that want to mirror back what somebody just did to us. So if you yell at me, my first reaction is going to be to yell at you. I want to mirror back, to react to what you said. So the whole thing is about learning to respond rather than react. We have a choice of response. We have no choice of what somebody else calls us, but we do have a choice of response. I'll show you what I mean. Tom, call me a witch.
You're a witch.
I'll tell you who's a witch.
You are a witch.
You're a witch.
You have the gift of discernment. You figured it out. I don't know how you busted me. I thought I was doing such a good job.
You're a witch.
You should respect your elders.
You're a witch.
Takes one to know one.
You're a witch.
What do you call me?
You're such a witch.
You know, I am. But I have found a great witch therapist. Been going to Witch Anonymous. Did I see you there?
You're a witch.
Baby, I love a man who talks trash. See, I have a choice of response. I have no choice for what he calls me, what any of you call me, but I do have a choice for how I respond to what you call me. If I come over here and I say, you're a chair, you're nothing but a chair, that doesn't even resonate. All you'll think is, she's a crazy old woman. But if somebody calls me a witch, I know that I can be that. We have to pay attention to our triggers, because often it'll be something that either you're denying or something that you've been struggling with that gets us into that reactive mode. If somebody is an active alcoholic and you say you're an alcoholic, you got fighting words. But once somebody accepts that part of themselves and stands up, they'll stand up in front of a group and say, my name is Jamie and I'm an alcoholic. It no longer has the power to control your response. And so we're looking at how to really diffuse any triggers that might be there, and to respond in a way that honors God and honors yourself. Y'all haven't been together for very long, but you know what somebody else would hurt somebody else in this room. You know what you could say that would wound somebody. You don't think the people that you live around know that about you? And if somebody is really avoiding the dance of intimacy, they'll push you away with words. You know, and so one of the most common communication problems and problem-causing things in a relationship is this. What does that say?
Secrets from the third pew.
It's not what it says. It says it's never too late. Can't you see anything?
It says secrets from the third pew.
Are you crazy? You're saying I don't know what I see?
I think you're crazy. It says secrets from the third pew.
It does. You're an idiot. I mean, you can't even read. That is not what it says.
Call me what you want, but that says secrets from the third pew.
You are being so foolish. I'll prove to you. Okay. What does that say?
It's never too late.
See?
He's lying.
See, what does it say?
It's never too late.
You found two liars.
Everybody agrees with me. This is how wars start. Now, if this book represents us, and us is where our lives overlap, he's going to come into the us of us from his history, his experiences, his understandings, his point of view, his needs and feelings. I'm coming into the us of us from my history, my point of view, my needs and feelings. I cannot see his side of the book. He cannot see my side of the book. And the only way that we're going to ever know each other is to listen what I did when I responded to him was I killed our relationship. I told him that his perception was not right. I told him that what he saw was not what he saw. He knows what he saw. So he is telling the truth and I'm telling the truth. Somehow we think God went out to lunch unless one of us is keeper of the truth. And of course it's me. I know you think it's you, but it's actually me. So what we're doing is this is an unending battle and a relationship killer. But if I want our relation to know what our relationship with each other looks like, I need to listen to his point of view. I need to accept his point of view as his. And he needs to listen to mine. And know that we're different. And in order to stay in relationship, we have to accept our individual differences and figure out how do we relate to each other based on our individual differences. So this is a very common thing that people get into because we don't accept each other's point of view. We're so busy defending our point of view that we discount everybody else. So that's one of the biggest relationship issues. How we respond makes a huge difference. So we have 6 choices of response. There's something somebody helped me to understand is that a conflict is not a competition. In a competition, you end up with a winner and a loser. In a conflict, you're just dealing with individual differences. They also help me to understand that you're not my enemy. You're just another human being trying to figure out your life out. And your definition of me doesn't mean anything. You can call me a frog, and it doesn't make me a frog. Nothing you do can make me into who you wish to say I am. But you're not my enemy. I have an enemy, his name is Satan. And I have nothing to defend. God gave me this life, and it's mine to choose to use it as I want to. So I have nothing to defend, and you're not my enemy. When I got this particular model of things, I was married to a very crazy psychiatrist, and we would fight, and we would diagnose each other, and we would have these amazing, antagonistic kinds of experiences with each other. And one day I got this and I thought, I'm tired of this. I don't want to do this anymore. So I go in and he says, why are you angry? And I'm like, I'm not angry. And I'm thinking, I have nothing to defend and you're not my enemy. I have nothing to defend and you're not my enemy. I have nothing to defend. I'm going to kill you. I got nothing to defend and you're not my enemy. You better hush. I got nothing to defend. And I found out that where I goofed up is I started to defend myself. He would say something I thought was totally absurd, and I would say, no, that's not true. And I would try to defend my position or defend myself, and that would lead me into a struggle. So I found that I don't have to defend myself. I have 6 possible choices of response. You have 50% of the relationship. This is your 50%. This is you. You throw your 50% at me and all your aggression, and I can choose to fight. Fighting, of all the possible choices, is the worst possible choice. Because fighting by its very nature is competitive. And again, at the end of a fight, you're going to have a winner and a loser. So fighting should be saved for life and death consequences. So the first thing to ask yourself in the face of a fight is, am I going to be dead at the end of this? And if the answer is no, then fighting is not your best choice. There's some things that are not fighting. There are some things that are not fatal. One is somebody being late to dinner. Another is somebody not liking something you do. Another is somebody calling you names. Another is, somebody leaving you. As an adult is not fatal. Somebody coming in at you with a knife is in fact fatal. And so, one of the things to really understand is that if you're going to fight, fight to win. Kill the sucker. Now, there seem like some things that are fighting, some things are fighting tools that don't feel like it. One is cold, silent rage. It's like you clam up, you go cold. My kids used to say, I don't even bother when you're yelling, but when you get that cold anger, you slam everything down, and then you're slamming counters, and you're storming around, and you're looking with a glare in your eye, and you're looking cold, and you're looking nasty. That is a fighting tool. That's a come here, baby tool. That's about, as soon as I get a little bit close to you, you're going to just blow up. The other thing that is not productive in fighting is last wording. Last word fight is ultimately to be lost. Because let's say that Tom is a last word person. Tom cannot give up the last word. He has to have the last word. Tom doesn't like me anymore. He's ready to leave. So tell me you're leaving.
I'm out of here.
You ain't going anywhere.
I am going.
You'll never leave me.
I will.
You can't do without me.
Just wait and see.
You're so helpless.
I've already got the bags packed.
Did you take everything this time?
I've got a ticket all purchased.
Are you coming home in time to bring
I'm
some
ready
milk?
to go.
You're an idiot.
You can call me what you want, but I'm out of here.
You'll be back.
I am not putting up with this
There is no way you're
more of this
going
stuff.
anywhere.
Nope.
He will be here when the fat lady sings. Because he cannot leave until he gives up the last word. All I have to do to hold on to him is say something. This is when I get to call him names. It's when I get to say nasty things. It's when I get to put him down. It doesn't matter what I say to him. He will be here trying to get the last word. I thought my parents were afraid to die because they're afraid the other one was going to get the last word. They were like big time last word people. That's one thing. The other thing that last wording does is it keeps you from talking about a specific subject. So it goes kind of like this. I don't like the fish you cooked. I don't like any seafood you cook. Well, I don't like anything you cook. Well, I don't like to eat with you. Well, I don't like to live with you. Well, I don't like you. Now we're in the divorce court, and all we were talking about was fish. But now we've got your grandmother's sink, we've got your family's history, we've got the things that are going to happen everything else is in there but fish. So fighting is not the best choice if what you want is harmonious relationships. Second thing, you come at me and I choose to withdraw. Withdrawal is better than continued fighting. And what withdrawal is really about is about boundary setting. This is what we did with Niasia. This is like, I'm willing to talk to you about this, but I'm not willing to talk when you're calling me names. So when you can treat me with respect, we'll have this conversation. And then you do what you say you're going to do. It can be in big ways, like I'm not willing to live with somebody who's drinking, so if you continue to drink, call me when you're done. About 6 months later. You can do it in big ways or you can do it in little ways. But it's about setting a boundary and it's better than continued fighting. But you do what you say you're going to do. It's not like I'm leaving, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and you never get to 3. So withdrawal is clean and it says what you're doing. That's another thing you can do is you come at me with your 50%, and I take my 50% and I use my energy to negotiate. Negotiation is necessary in every ongoing relationship because it recognizes that here's you and here's me. Here's you and here's me. And here's us. Again, us is where our lives overlap. So what I'm doing is to use negotiation is I need to tell you what I'm willing to give and what I need to get. And then the form of the relationship will become apparent. Because you don't know the form of the relationship until you know what each person's willing to give and what they need to get. So negotiation is important for any ongoing relationship. I didn't know I had all these options. I thought fight, run. I mean, that's all you got. So another one is you come at me and I do nothing. Doing nothing is what you do when you realize that there's a lot of you that does not involve me. I am not the center of your life. No one else is the center of your life. So everything somebody does does not include you, is not about you. So if Christian comes home and he's tired from work and he wants to read the paper, that's not about me. He's tired. Has nothing to do with me. But if I'm a good codependent, what I'm going to do is he's not paying any attention to me, so he must be mad at me. So I'm going to go over what I do now. What I do now. Why are you treating me this way? He's not treating me anyway. He wants to read the paper. You know? But I'm making it about me. And so, you know, that's not a good idea. Doing nothing is about, it's also not the other codependent thing, which tries to fix him. You know, well, tell me. I can help you. What do you need from me? Doesn't need anything from me. Needs to read the paper. You know, and that's it. So it's okay to say, is this about us? And if he says no, then my deal is, I'm in the kitchen doing my life. Call me if you need me. I'm going to a meeting. I'll be back in a couple hours. It's not about me. So doing nothing is also active listening. Ooh, ah, yeah, woo. People are making millions of dollars going, ooh, ah, really? Yeah, ooh. You know, I mean, it's like, you know, it's really interesting. But doing nothing is a good thing to do when it's not about you. Another thing I can do is divert. Diversion looks like avoidance, but it is really a time buyer. And it's also a way of letting another person settle down. It's also appropriate in some things. In diversion, you're using whatever excuse you need to not have the conversation. But if you divert, you have to come back and say, you know, when you wanted to talk, you know, I'm available. It's a wise thing to do when somebody's drinking or taking drugs because they're not present. Their brain is compromised, they're not even there. So don't have serious conversations when somebody's intoxicated. Second time that's good to do is if somebody's angry or afraid, and this is especially true of children. I mean, because if you think about it, an adult looks like a 17-foot giant coming at a child. So if they're like sitting there like, you know, they can't think. When you're angry or afraid, you cannot process new information. It's like sitting in the way of Highway 70, in the middle of Highway 71, trying to learn math. You can't do it. So you get down and you just say, you don't have to be afraid of me, but you do have to clean your room up. You know, I mean, it is very, very much, you calm down the anger or the fear and then you instruct. Then you talk. It's also a good thing to do if people don't have boundaries. You know, I tell people sometimes, don't be calling me at 2 o'clock in the morning. I frankly don't care about you at 2 o'clock in the morning. I am asleep. You know, you can call me one time if you're going to kill yourself before 8:30, and then I'm going to put you in a place that has a second and third shift. You know, it is a good thing to do when you need to set a boundary. If somebody comes, I gotta talk, I gotta talk, I gotta talk. Well, just because you gotta talk don't mean I gotta listen. So I can buy time by saying, hey, you know what, I need to go to the ladies' room. Can you wait a minute? Give you time to calm down. Because that kind of thing, you just want to dump your stuff on me. You don't want to talk, you want to, So diversion, but if you divert, you have to go back, hey, when you want to talk, I'm available. And they say, a professional victim, I don't want to talk to you now, you weren't there when I needed you. The answer to that, I'm here now if you do. It's like, I don't have to defend the fact that I don't want to talk. The last thing, and this sometimes involves many of these, is to seek truth. There is already a truth to your relationship. God goes before us. Truth goes before us. If I cut my leg, the truth of the cut is on my leg before I am aware of the cut. The same thing is true with the relationship. The relationship already exists. So, I only have half of the truth of it. You have half of the truth of it. So if I want a harmonious relationship in the end, then I need to say, oh, wait a minute, something is going on between us that is creating a disharmony. And I need to find out what it is. Probably one of the more important concepts in a relationship is the assumption of positive intent. The assumption of positive intent is huge. Because what that says is, I believe that you love me. I believe that you want to have a friendship with me. I believe that you want to work in harmony with me. And something is disrupting that. I don't know whether it's in me or whether it's in you. I just want to explore so that we can restore harmony in our relationship and be who we need to be. So seeking truth acknowledges there's already a truth, and I want to assume there's a positive truth. And so we need to just find out what it is that's taking us away from that. I mentioned that, I would go in and my psychiatric husband would say, what are you angry about? And I'd say, I'm not angry. I had just created a fight. He said, you're angry? I said, I'm not. I discounted his perception. He said, you are, and I said, I'm not, and he said, you are, and I said, I'm not, and then I would be, and it became a self-fulfilling prophecy. So I go in and I think, I may be angry, but I'm not experiencing anger. What did you see or hear? Because everything you know about me comes in through one of your senses. You either see something, hear something, taste something, smell something, something comes in through your senses. And so I said, what did you see or hear that led you to believe that I was angry? He said, what? I said, serious. You saw or heard anger. I'm not experiencing anger. There's something going on, so let's figure out what it is. So he said, well, you were doing this. I was scrunching up my forehead. Well, his mother used to do that. She would scrunch up her forehead and go like that. Well, I don't see very well. So when somebody gets a certain distance from me, I tend to squint. So he gets my squint mixed up with his mother's scrunch. He's seeing anger. I'm just trying to see him. And we could laugh. Or somebody walks by you in the hall at church, and you think, well, that was stuck up. First of all, you don't know if they saw you, because I know you're like neon lights and everything's supposed to see you when you walk in the door. But maybe they had diarrhea and they're trying to get to the bathroom. You don't know what's going on with somebody else. You go up to hug somebody and they back away. You don't get it that they just have bad sunburn. We don't know. We make assumptions about what's going on with another person. We project what we would be thinking or doing onto another person, and then we act toward them as if our perception of them is true. And we don't know that. So seeking truth is when you explore that. I don't know whether it's me or whether it's you or where that thing is between us, but I'm interested in staying a friend with you. I'm interested in being in a good relationship with you. And I need to know what I'm doing, or I need to tell you what I'm feeling, whatever it is. Some truth is very painful. Some truth is really, really difficult. I am much better at loving than I've ever been in my life. God is really working in me, and I really do love a lot of people. But there's still some people that I cannot love up close. I have found that I have a struggle with some people, and it's not about them. It's about my limited ability to love. I'm not here to analyze or judge their behavior. I'm here to pay attention to who I am in that relationship. And I need to pay attention when I start acting unloving, when I start getting sarcastic, when I start treating somebody with disrespect or condescendingness or judgmentalness. I need to pay attention when I am the one who's becoming the aggressor or disrespectful person. And when that happens, the most loving thing I can do for a person is to step back. And I have found that I can love almost anybody from about 300 miles. So, some truth is painful, and we tend to avoid those truths that are really painful. And to really get in there and say, let's figure out where we are and how we work is a really respectful thing. So thank you.